So we're here at the Sikh Lens Festival in Birmingham Millennium Point, and I'm speaking to Dr. Mandeep Kaur Dhillon, who is the author of this incredible book, The Values Compass. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm grateful that you said my full name.
Oh.
Only another Sikh person would be able to do that, so thank you. I'm appreciative.
Okay. So you're showcasing at the Sikh Lens Festival today, and you're showcasing your books, The Values Compass. Please tell us a bit about your book, Benji.
Thank you. Yes, so this book takes you around the world to 101 different countries, and each country is distilled into a different value. So although I could talk to you about respect, to show you the way the Japanese community practices respect, like the way kindergarten children are taught about respect from a very early age. Yeah. You know, we see it manifested in at the World Cup, where people cleared up after themselves. But that's taught when you're 2-3 years old. You don't wait for a janitor to clear up after you. You need to clear up after yourself. And so this idea that the Sikhi values, you can see them all over the world, but different nations emphasize different things. Yeah. And then it's basically a book, it's a tool to help you as an individual figure out what do you want to focus on? There's over 100 different values. All of them would be great, but it can be overwhelming. What are the 5 that you want to inbuild in you as habits? Yeah. And then as they become habits, you're then able to kind of, progress from there, like 1%, 1%, 1%. But before you know it, you're on a path that really reflects how you want to spend your time.
Yeah. And what actually inspired you to write the book?
So firstly, the Gurbani, every single you wouldn't use the word page, you would use it's like a limb. There's easily a different value in each and every one of them. And so I spent 5 years going through each, and not just the Gurbani, but also all the Sakya and the Guru's lives themselves. And it's just a treasure trove. Like we often think we have to learn about leadership in leadership schools. Don't get me wrong, I've done an MBA, I have been through that. But actually our gurus can teach us so much about leadership. And so the title of the book is actually What 101 Countries Teach Us About Purpose, Life and Leadership. But all the foundation is Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji.
Wow, that's amazing. And did you say that Bhai Sahib Ji from Nishkam Jatha had an involvement or overlooked your book? Please tell us about that as well.
Yeah, so it's Bhai Sahib Ji today is a Saturday, they're joining us today, but yesterday and Friday night they came from New York where they spoke at the UN. And I met with them many years ago when I was working at the UN. And there aren't many times when I would go to the UN, to the headquarter canteen every single day to have lunch. And on this one occasion, I'd go to get the karashi of rice, and another hand went for the same ladle and it had a kara on. So I look up and it's Bhai Sahib Ji. And I actually didn't know who Bhai Sahib Ji were, even though I'm from Birmingham and born in Birmingham. And Bhai Sahib Ji really, I just felt as though took me under their wing as you'd take a daughter. And we had lunch together, then we got talking about everything. And we've really been, as a family, under their wing ever since. And so many pivotal points in my life, I've spoken to them and said, what do you think? Which, I'll give you an example. I had just got married and I was offered a job in Abu Dhabi. Yeah. So in a normal situation, you might think, well, you're married in England, your husband's in England, take a job in England. And there were offers in England. But when I told Bhai Sahib Ji about this job in Abu Dhabi, they're like, wow, the role you're describing is about essentially changing, the role was to change the political, economic dialogue around Islam. Yeah. And as Sikhs, that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to look after those who are being, at the time, 9/11 had just happened, those who are being persecuted. Yeah. So stand up and let's do that, even though it's the harder role, even though it's on the other side of the world. So there's just been so many times when, Baba, you've just helped me take the harder path, and this would be an example. So I don't know if there have been other Sikh female international bestsellers.
Yeah.
But I do feel that because of their guidance and because of their blessings, that, you know, this book is not me. It's like thousands of different voices and then millions of, yeah.
So, Benji, I can see with this book you've got 2 different styles of books. Do you want to kindly just explain?
Yeah,
I've got 2.
that would be great. This is the hardback. It was published in the US first. Then it was published across the world in English language, and that's the paperback. And we've been fortunate enough that it's been in demand in lots of different countries. So it's been published in Bulgarian, in Hungarian, it's coming out in Korea next month. It's coming out in Greece after that. Ukrainian, like Japanese, it came out as kind of the guide to the Olympics. Yeah. So we've been really blessed. And that's why we're just showing the 2 different types of English versions.
That's incredible. And if, you know, the Sangat want to buy this book or even speak about it, how do they get in touch with you? How do they buy this book?
So it's in every good bookshop. And if it isn't, ask for it because it should be. And also, you know, Amazon is everyone's best friend.
Yeah.
And also to get it, I'm on every social media platform. Yeah, and then Babaji has many copies.
Oh, amazing. So we can get it from there if we want to. And do you have anything coming up in the future? Like, you've obviously written this book. Do you have any other books that you're going to start to write or writing in the process of?
Yeah, so next week I'll be going to Afghanistan. Like this covers over 101 countries, but I did feel very much like, well, what about the other 99 or 100 that are left? So we've now covered nearly 170 watch this space would be the answer.
I'm definitely going to watch this space. It's incredible, and it's incredible to meet you, and more importantly, congratulations on your book.
Thank you. Well, really, just to say that this book is not about me or the world. This book is about you and you as the reader. Yeah. And it's not a book that you have to start from, you know, front to back or read cover to cover. You just dip in, dip out. And it's inspirational, but much more importantly, it helps you in your day-to-day life get closer to where you want to be.
Yeah, that's amazing. So it's quite motivational as well.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us.
I wish you all the best. Yeah, thank you.
And just one last thing. The reason I actually met the Sikh, the Sikh Lens Festival is because I met Vicky last year.
Right, okay.
And so I was kind of like speaking in several places in the States, and the Bank of California had asked me to come, and their headquarters are very near Vicky's house. And so I popped into his local Gurdwara, and his wife was there. And she's like, oh, my husband is really into literature and arts. You should meet with him. And that evening, like, you know, I meet with Vicky, and then he's like, oh, we're doing this festival in England next year. Wow. You must come. And so, God works in wonderful ways, right?
In mysterious ways. That's so nice. So that is your connection to the Sikh.
Yes, and then obviously Hari Singh and everything that's happening around the jewels and the book, and they've just been incredibly supportive. And that they're the type of people you want and need for our youth to feel that we can do something, and there's space for us, and because the work that they do is such that our films, our books, our language, our arts, our creativity has a space.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't have to be Gurbani related, it doesn't have to be Sikh related, but the fact is that whomever you are, there's a space for you being created, and I'm just really grateful for the work that they're doing.
Yeah, that's so true. Thank you for saying that. It's important to know that, you know, we have an opportunity and a space to be creative, and that's very, very important.
Yeah, so, especially because, you know, for the mothers and fathers out there, like the professions, the average, they say that if you're leaving university or school now, you will have 17 different pivots in your career, or 17 potential different careers. Yeah. So the idea of the traditional, you know, my son or daughter will become X.
Yeah.
Is really over. That we'll do so many things that you want to be able to have a platform so that your children can express their creativity, can express their science, can express their full potential.
That is so true. I don't think anybody's articulated it the way you've just said that, but that is very true, that it's important to have all those things, not just your career, but your creative side,
yes,
to become the whole person that you are meant to be. So yeah, thank you.
And it takes you back to the Gurbani and the values that the Gurbani talks about, like whether it's creativity is in the Gurbani, or whether it's excellence, or whether it's service, or whether it's compassion, or whether all of this is there. And what they're doing is basically bringing a practical, real life element to it. So yeah, very grateful.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much. And I wish you all the best with your book and your future endeavours.
Thank you.